Well, there's a brand new Buffett backlash. Say that 5 times. That story tops tonight's 2-minute drill. Your most valuable panel. Fox News radio host Alan Colmes has survived. He's with us. Tea Party 365 founder David Webb is with us. And Fox News contributor Dr. Keith Ablow. All right, fire up the clock, ladies. All right. Every investor knows you have to pay capital gain taxes, right? Well, that's unless you're Warren Buffett. The Wall Street Journal reports that on a special tax break, the Oracle may be getting from his Bank of America bailout. The Journal opines, and I quote, "We're tempted to suggest that Mr. Buffett should do what he might call the patriotic thing and volunteer Berkshire to pay the full 35% rate as a good corporate citizen." Berkshire says this Journal story is incorrect. Dr. Ablow, is Buffett a hypocrite? Come on.
Well, it sure looks like it, sadly. And I have to say, it's very dispiriting to people when someone comes out and boldly says, look, the wealthy have to pay more, as Warren Buffett has said. And then when you really drill down, you realize that he means, well, the wealthy who are making a couple $100,000 a year. They're the folks that he's targeting in this case. Not the multi-billionaires, not the gigantic corporations. Right. And I think that people find that disingenuous, and it makes them distrustful.
All right, Alan, so your man, Warren Buffett.
Yeah. Is he breaking the law?
Is he breaking the law? No, he's not breaking the law, but he's following
Is he supposed to volunteer money to the government?
Well, he's actually made a very point that rich people should pay more money.
He'd like to change the law for everybody. So this argument that I hear all the time, well, rich people, if they really want to pay more taxes, let them just send money to the government.
That's a really good argument.
It's ridiculous.
All right, David.
If he's not breaking the law.
Let me solve it for Warren. I know he's got all these advisors around him.
You.
So just listen. Go to the IRS. You can get on their website at irs.gov and follow it and donate your money if you want. Here's the hypocrisy, selling a different message. Not illegal, but pushing Obama's agenda while, by the way, he buys into another one of our taxpayer bailouts, a.k.a. Bank of America.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's a smart businessman.
It's bad that he's investing in a major bank.
He's a smart businessman, and yet he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going. The Congressional Black Caucus attacking the Tea Party? What? With controversial rhetoric.
Some of these folks in Congress right now would love to see us as second-class citizens. Some of them in Congress right now that this Tea Party movement would love to see you and me, I'm sorry, Cameron, hanging on a tree.
David Webb, who in the Tea Party wants to lynch people?
I got to tell you, I really had to take a breath when I listened to this video. So I'm going to speak directly to the Congressional Black Caucus and especially to Congressman Carson from Indiana's 7th District. My studio, Washington, D.C., at any time, I will have this out with you in context fairly. You, sir, and the rest of the Congressional Black Caucus are failures at what you're doing. You're in the business of keeping blacks on the liberal plantation. You are an absolute disgrace as an elected official. Right. And I got to tell you something. No, Alan, let me finish. At what time did you hear any rational person in America talk about lynching blacks, talking about let's call for bank runs, let's get civil unrest in their neighborhoods? Alan, sorry.
Alan, you got about 15 seconds.
You say they're keeping blacks on the liberal plantation. You're saying the blacks can't think for themselves? They're forced to do this? Blacks are unable to make up their own decisions?
We can, but the perception being sold by the liberals is we think for you.
Liberals are forced to do it. So blacks can't make their own decisions.
Alan, you know what?
They can't make their own decisions. They're forced to be. You're not on the liberal plantation.
I'm not on it because I can think for
myself.
But
every other black doesn't. The other blacks don't,
The difference is that for 45 plus years, what have you gotten as a community in return on?
Gentlemen, that is the bell. We're not going to solve this right here. All right. But here's a question. Is Michelle Bachmann Jewish? No, she's actually Lutheran, for crying out loud. But apparently Mitt Romney fundraisers believe that some Jewish donors think Bachmann is a Jew too. Oy vey! And they're opening up their wallets, evidently, which is really what's probably got this going. It's all according to the New York Post. So panel, Alan, why is religion shaping up to be an important factor here in this race?
I don't know that religion is always a factor. You know that they found out that some large, like 20% of evangelicals wouldn't vote for a Mormon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really sad that it has anything to do with anything.
All right, Doctor, all right, help us out here. I have heard a lot of negative things about Mormons, and that's been sort of tossed around too, so I guess it's even, right?
Well, listen, I wish that there were that money didn't cut according to religion. Obviously, you'd like it to cut according to character. However, we do have a president who's been so hostile to the state of Israel that Jewish folks around the country would be wise, remembering history, to reach out and say, well, who is in support of the state of Israel? If they've made a mistake and said, well, you know, Michelle Bachmann because she's going to temple when she's not, that's kind of funny.
Support of Israel isn't support of the Likud party. Support of Israel isn't support of a particular political party or government because you don't like what Netanyahu does not make you anti-Israel.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people here is anti-Israel. David, give us quick. About 30 seconds.
I'm going to do something the president really hasn't done. I'm going to Israel Thursday for 10 days, and I'll actually travel around and see what the situation is on the ground, talk to their ministers, meet with their generals. I make a rational, informed decision. When I come back, I'll have a better picture. That's what everybody should do when they deal with politics and with this administration.
All right.